Aleph, Lam. These are the verses of the clear book.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To all my Muslim brothers, sisters, converts, reverts, those who are struggling in the deen of Al-Islam, along with all of humanity, inshallah ta'ala, we are now going to the arrival of Fajr, inshallah ta'ala, along with the I'm listening to Surah Yusuf in the background, so at the same time you will be able to hear what I'm listening to. So inshallah, what's playing is Surah Yusuf. It just started, probably on the third ayah. Inshallah, please give me a chance to get ready. And
when Joseph said to his father, "Oh my father, I saw 11 planets, and the sun, and the moon. I saw them bowing down to me."
فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين.
He said, "O my son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, lest they plot and scheme against you."
ربك ويعلمك من آل يعقوب كما من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم.
And thus your Lord, as he has
while I go
completed
and get
before
ready
upon
to
your
bid
forefathers
farewell
Abraham and Isaac,
to Tahajjud and
your
Allah
Lord
subhanahu wa
knowing
ta'ala
advice.
with their return tomorrow, inshallah, as we relay and wait and preparing for the greeting of Fajr.
Joseph and his brothers are lessons for the seekers.
إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا لفي ضلال مبين.
When they said, "Joseph and his brother are dearer to our father than we are, although we are a whole group. Our father is obviously in the wrong."
اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم بعده قوما صالحين.
Kill Joseph or throw him somewhere in the land, and your father's attention will be yours. Afterwards, you will be decent people.
قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين.
One of them said, "Do not kill Joseph, but throw him in."
أبانا له لناصحون.
They said, "Father, why do you not trust us with Joseph, although we can?"
يلعب وإنا له لحافظون.
Send him with us tomorrow, that he may roam and play. We will take care of him.
قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون.
They said, "If the wolf fed him, and we are many, we would be good for nothing."
فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم.
So they went away with him, and agreed to put him at the bottom of the well. And we inspired him, you will inform them of that. And they came to their father in the evening weeping.
قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين.
By our belongings, and the wolf ate it. But you will not believe us, even though we are being truthful.
وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون.
And they brought his shirt with fake blood on it. He said, your souls enticed you to do something. But patience is beautiful. Allah is my help against what you describe.
واردهم فأدلى دلوه قال يا بشرى هذا غلام وأسروه بضاعة والله عليم بما يعملون.
A caravan passed by. Their war merchandise. But Allah was aware of what they did.
وكانوا فيه من الزاهدين.
And they sold him for a cheap price, a few coins. They considered him to be of little value.
وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض ولنعلمه من تأويل الأحاديث والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
Or we may adopt him as a son. We thus establish Joseph in the land to teach him the interpretation of events. Allah has control over his affairs, but most people do not know.
ولما بلغ أشده آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك
Maturity, we gave him wisdom and
التي هو في بواب وقالت هيت لك قال معاذ أحسن مثاي إنه لا يفلح الظالمون.
in whose house he was living tried to seduce him. She shut the doors and said, I am yours. He said, Allah forbid. He is my Lord. He has given me a good home. Sinners never succeed.
ولقد همت به وهم بها لولا أن رأى برهان والفحشاء إنه من عبادنا المخلصين.
She desired him, and he desired her. Had he not seen the proof of his Lord? It was thus that we diverted evil and indecency away from him. He was
من دبر وألف يا سيدها لدى الباب قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم.
As they raced to husband, he said, "What is the penalty for him who desired to dishonor your wife, except imprisonment or a painful punishment?"
قال هي راودتني عن نفسي وشهد شاهد من أهلها إن كان قميصه قد كاذبين.
He said, "It was she who tried to seduce me." A witness from her household suggested, "If his shirt is torn from the front, then she has told the truth, and he is the liar."
دبر فكذبت وهو من الصادقين.
He is the truthful.
فلما رأى كيدكن إن كيدكن عظيم.
And when he saw that his shirt was torn from the back, he said, "This is a woman's scheme. Your scheming is serious indeed."
يوسف أعرض عن هذا واستغفري لذنبك إنك كنت من الخاطئين.
Joseph, turn away from this. And you, woman, ask forgiveness for your sin. You are indeed in the wrong.
وقال نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها.
Inshallah, it's almost 5:30, so we're gonna do 2 rakats in farewell to Tahajjud, and Allah Ta'ala, who will be returning to his istawa in a place that is designated by His Majesty in a majestic manner. And we'll be saying farewell to Tahajjud, to which is going to return to its submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, after Isha, with its return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala, now offer the 2 rakats. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim, wal-aamin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq min sharri ma khalaq min sharri ghasiqin alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas min al-jinnati wan nas. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad. Allahu akbar. Rabbi al-azim. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. La ilaha illa ta'ala. Please accept these 2 rakats. Inshallah ta'ala, until your return tomorrow. Yeah. Inshallah ta'ala, please watch over us. Keep all our hearts open to Islam and all. Thank you for the blessings that you bestowed upon us throughout our lives and in this day. Inshallah ta'ala, please continue to bless us. Akbar. لا إله إلا أنت لا إله إلا أنت لا إله إلا أنت. Ya Allah Ta'ala, thank you for the blessings you bestowed upon us throughout our lives. And in this day, inshallah Ta'ala, please continue to watch over us and bless us and watch over the world of Muslims. Keep their hearts open to Islam and also Allah. La ilaha illa La ilaha illa Allah Ta'ala, please continue to guide us in accordance with what is in our hearts. For only you. Allahu Akbar. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني سميع الله. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني الله. Ya Allah Ta'ala, thank you for the blessings you bestowed upon us throughout our lives and in this day. Inshallah Ta'ala, please continue to watch over us, keep our hearts open to Islam, and also our from the torment of the grave, from the torment of the hellfire, from the torment of the evil of the oppression. الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. سبحان ربي العظيم. سمع الله. الله 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 الله. التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم Those two last sessions was because I think I made a mistake in my prayer. For the next that and it was Assalamu alaikum, brother Sanas. Now we'll return to the Surah Yusuf. I'm going to play it from the beginning so that everyone can get a better understanding who has just tuned in. May have forgotten where we left off.
وقال نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the gracious.
تلك آيات الكتاب المبين
Aleph, Lam. These are the verses of the clear book.
إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون
We have revealed it an Arabic Quran, so that you may understand.
نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين.
We narrate to you accurate history by revealing to you this Quran. Although, prior to it, you were of the unaware.
إذ قال يوسف لكوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين.
When Joseph said to his father, "O my father, I saw 11 planets and the moon. I saw them bowing down to me."
على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدان عدو مبين.
He said, "O my son, do not relate your
كذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق.
And thus your Lord will choose you, and will teach you the interpretation of events, and will complete his blessing upon you and upon the family of Jacob, as he has completed it before upon your forefathers Abraham and Isaac. Your Lord is knowing and wise.
لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات إن يوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين.
When they said, "Joseph and his brother are dearer to our father than we are, although we are a whole group. Our father is obviously in the wrong."
اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين.
Kill Joseph, and your father's attention will be yours. Afterwards, you will be decent people.
قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين.
One of them said, "Do not kill Joseph. Throw him into the bottom of the well. Some caravan may pick him up, if you must do something."
قالوا يا أبا يوسف وإنا له لناصحون.
They said, "Father,
إنا له لحافظون.
send him with us tomorrow, that he may roam and play. We will take care of him."
قال إني ليحزن أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون.
He said, it worries me that you would take him away. And I
أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون.
They said, if the wolf fed him, and we are many, we would be good for nothing.
فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا
To put him at the bottom of the well. And we inspired him, you will inform them of this deed of theirs when they are unaware. And they came to their father in the evening weeping.
قالوا يا أبانا يوسف تركنا يوسف عند أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين.
They said, "O Father, we went off racing one another and left Joseph by our belongings and offered him. But you will not believe us, even though we are being truthful."
قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم والله المستعان على ما تصفون.
And they brought his shirt with fake blood on it. He said, "Your souls indescribe."
وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوه قال يا بشرى هذا غلام الله عليم بما يعملون.
A caravan passed by, and they sent their water carrier. He lowered his pocket.
Your regular Fudge is near upon us.
Here is a boy.
Inshallah ta'ala.
But Allah was aware of
the obligatory 2 rakats for Fajr. Inshallah, in about let me see, time of the prayer.
Considered him to be of little value.
وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى
about 1 minute until the arrival of Fajr. Inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala will be here again tomorrow, inshallah. With your will, Allah ta'ala. خير من النوم الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا
وقال
الله
الذي اشتراه
وحش إن شاء الله تعالى
مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا
Inshallah ta'ala will pause on Surah Yusuf, and we'll go now into the two obligatory rakats of Fajr. Inshallah, please join me as the of a congregation. Inshallah ta'ala. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Hayya la salah. Hayya la falah. Kada qamat salah, kada qamat salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. A'udhu billahi Rabbil Alameen. Rahman Rahim Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Min syarri nafathati fil 'uqad. Min syarri hasidin idza hasad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul a'udzu birabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas, min syarril waswasil khannas, alladzi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas minal jinnati. Ya Allah Ta'ala, please accept these two rak'ats from us for experience, knowledge, understanding, and action in Islam, and thank you for the blessing you bestowed upon us throughout our lives. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha la ilaha la ilaha صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. guys ومن شر حسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الناس مالك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. Allah Ta'ala, please guide us and protect us from this day and our journey back unto you on the evil of the accursed Shaitan, his kings and hymns, those who blow into knots, those who cause sins amongst men and women, along with those who cast evil eye on us, and your unsworn Mustaqim and doubt. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد Inshallah Ta'ala, I ask Allah Ta'ala to allow it to enter the hearts of those who are watching the video. Inshallah Ta'ala, I'll be dealing with a giant, mega giant of jinn in the dunya today. So inshallah Ta'ala, please help your device so as to bring me the protection of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, of my speech, my articulation, my knowledge, my intelligence, and my knowledge of Islamic jurisprudence, Quran and Sunnah, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, laws, rules, regulations of the States of America in accordance with maritime law, and of course, dealing with these jinns, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will go Allah Ta'ala. We will finish the chapter and then close off for the day. Inshallah Ta'ala. We'll finish with Surah Yusuf, and then I shut down for the day as I have to get ready for my day in the dunya and the dodging of the evil of the accursed Shaitan, his jinns and demons, and those whom cast evil eye, who blow into knots, who cause sin. Inshallah Ta'ala.
والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر.
Take good care of him. He may be useful to us, or we may adopt him as a son. We thus establish Joseph in the land to teach him the interpretation of events. Allah has control over his affairs, but most people do not know.
ولما بلغ أشده المحسنين.
When he reached his maturity, we gave him wisdom and knowledge. We thus reward the righteous.
وراودته التي هو واب وقالت هيت لك قال معاذ الله إنه ربي أحسن مثواي إنه لا يفلح الظالمون.
She in whose house he was living, he is my Lord. He has given me a good hope. Sinners never succeed.
ولقد همت به وهم بها لولا أن رأى برهان ربه كذلك لنصرف عنه السوء والفحشاء.
She desired him, and he desired her. Had he not seen the proof of his Lord? It was thus that we diverted evil and indecency away from him. He was one of our loyal servants.
واستبق الباب وقدت قميصه من دبر وألف يا سيدها من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم.
As they raced towards the door, he tore his shirt from behind. At the door, they ran into her husband. He said, "What is?"
قال هي راودتني عن نفسي وشهد شاهد من أهلها إن كان قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين.
He said, "It was she who tried to seduce me." A witness from her household suggested, "If his shirt is torn from it, then she has told the truth, and he is the liar."
فكذبت وهو من الصادقين.
But if his shirt is torn from the back, then she has lied, and he is the truthful.
فلما رأى قميصه قد من كيدكن إن كيدكن عظيم.
And when he saw that his shirt was torn from the back, "This is a woman's scheme."
عن هذا واستغفري لذنبك إنك كنت من الخاطئين.
Woman, ask forgiveness for your sin. You are indeed in the wrong.
وقال نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسه قد شغفها حبا إنا لنراها في ضلال مبين.
Some ladies in the city said, "The governor's wife is trying to seduce her servant. She is deeply in love with him."
وأعتدت لهن متكأ وآتت كل واحدة منهن سكينا وقالت اخرج عليهن فلن أيديهن وقلن حاش لله ما هذا بشرا إن هذا إلا ملك كريم.
And when she heard of it, "This must be a precious angel,"
قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه ولقد راودته عن نفسه فاستعصم ولئن لم يفعل ما آمره ليسجنن وليكونن من الصاغرين.
He said, "Here he is, the one you blamed me for. I did try to seduce him, but he resisted. But if he does not do what I tell him to do, he will be imprisoned, and will be one of the despised."
قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه وإلا تصرف عني.
He said, "My Lord, prison is more desirable to me than what they call me to. Unless you turn their scheming away from me, I may yield to them, and become one of the ignorant."
فاستجاب له ربه فصرف عنه كيدهن ثم بدا لهم من بعد ما رأى يسجننه حتى حين.
Then it occurred to them, after they had seen the signs, to imprison him for a while.
ودخل معه السجن فتيان قال أحدهما إني أراني أعصر خمرا وقال الآخر إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه نبئنا بتأويله إنا نراك من المحسنين.
Two youth entered the prison with him. One of them said, I see myself pressing wine. The other said, I see myself carrying bread on my head, from which the birds are eating. Tell us their interpretation. We see that you are one of the righteous.
قال لا يأتيكما طعام ترزقانه إلا نبأتكما بتأويله قبل أن يأتيكما ذلكما مما علمني ربي إني تركت ملة قوم لا يؤمنون بالله وهم بالآخرة هم كافرون.
He said, no food is served to you, but I have informed you about it before you have received it. That is some of what my Lord has taught me. I have forsaken the tradition of people who do not believe in Allah, and regarding the hereafter, they are deniers.
واتبعت ملة آبائي إبراهيم وإسحاق ويعقوب ما كان لنا من فضل الله علينا وعلى الناس ولكن أكثر الناس لا يشكرون.
And I have followed the faith of my forefathers, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. It is not for us to the people, but most people do not give thanks.
يا صاحبي السجن أأرباب متفرقون خير أم الله الواحد القهار.
O my fellow inmates, are diverse lords better, or Allah, the one, the supreme?
ما تعبدون من سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن الحكم إلا لله أمر ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
You do not worship, besides him, except names you have named, you and your ancestors, for which Allah has sent down no authority. Judgment belongs to none but Allah. He has commanded that you worship none but him. This is the right religion, but most people do not know.
يا صاحبي السجن أما أحدنا فيسقي ربه خمرا وأما الآخر فيصلب فتأكل الطير من رأسه قضي الأمر الذي فيه تستفتيان.
O my fellow inmates, one of you will serve his master wine, while the other will be crucified, and the birds will eat from his head. The matter you are inquiring about is settled.
وقال للذي ظن أنه ناج منه اذكرني عند ربك فأنساه الشيطان ذكر ربه فلبث في السجن بضع سنين.
He said to the one he thought would be released, "Mention me to your master." But Satan caused him to forget mentioning him to his master, so he remained in prison for several years.
وقال الملك إني أرى 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في رؤياي إن كنتم للرؤيا تعبرون.
And fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones, and 7 green spikes, and others dried up. Elders, explain to me my vision, if you are able to interpret visions.
قالوا أضغاث أحلام وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين.
They said, jumbles of dreams, and we know nothing of the interpretation of dreams.
وقال الذي نجا منهما وادكر بعد أمة أنا أنبئكم بتأويله فأرسلون.
The one who was released said, "Send me out."
يوسف أيها الصديق أفتنا في 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات لعلي أرجع إلى الناس لعلهم يعلمون.
Joseph, O man of truth, inform us concerning 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones, and 7 green spikes, and others dried up, so that I may return to the people, so that they may know.
قال تزرعون 7 سنين دأبا فما حصدتم فذروه في سنبله إلا قليلا مما تأكلون.
He said, you will farm for 7 consecutive years. But whatever you harvest, leave it in its spikes, except for the little that you eat.
ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك 7 شداد يأكلن ما قدمتم لهن إلا قليلا مما تحصنون.
Then after that will come 7 difficult ones, which will consume what you have stored for them, except for the little that you have preserved.
ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس وفيه يعصرون.
Then after that will come a year that brings relief.
قال الملك ائتوني به فلما جاءه الرسول قال ارجع إلى ربك فاسأله ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن إن ربي بكيدهن عليم.
The king said, bring him to me. And when the envoy came to him, he said, "Go back to your master and ask him about the intentions of the women who cut their hands. My lord is well aware of their schemes."
قال ما خطبكن إذ راوتن يوسف عن نفسه قلنا حاش لله ما علمنا عليه من سوء قالت امرأة العزيز الآن الحق أنا راودته عن نفسه وإنه
evil committed by him. The governor's wife then said, "Now the truth is out. It was I who tried to seduce him, and he is telling the truth."
ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين.
This is that he may know that I did not betray him in secret, and that Allah does not guide the scheming of the beggars.
وما أبرئ نفسي إن النفس لأمارة بالسوء.
Yet I do not claim to be innocent. The soul commands evil, except those on whom my Lord has mercy. Truly my Lord is forgiving and merciful.
وقال الملك ائتوني به أستخلصه لنفسي فلما كلمه قال إنك اليوم لدينا مكين أمين.
The king said, "Bring him to me, and I will reserve him for myself." And when he spoke to him, he said, "This day you are with us established and secure."
قال اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. من نشاء ولا نضيع أجر المحسنين.
And thus we established Joseph in the land, to live therein wherever he wished. We touch with our mercy whomever we will, and we never waste the reward of the righteous.
ولأجر الآخرة خير للذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون.
But the reward of the hereafter is better for those who believe and piety.
وجاء إخوة يوسف فدخلوا عليه فعرفهم وهم منكرون.
And Joseph's brothers came and entered into his presence. He recognized them, but they did not recognize him.
ولما جهزهم بجهازهم قال ائتوني بأخ لكم من أبيكم ألا ترون أني أوفي الكيل.
Them with their provisions, said, "Bring me a brother of yours from your father. Do you not see that I fill up the measure, and I am the best of hosts?"
فإن لم تأتوني به فلا كيل لكم عندي ولا تقربون.
But if you do not bring him to me, you will have no measure from me, and you will not come near me.
قالوا سنراود عنه أباه وإنا لفاعلون.
They said, "We will solicit him from his father. We will surely do."
وقال لفتيانه جعلوا بضاعتهم في رحالهم لعلهم يعرفونها إذا انقلبوا لهم يرجعون.
He said to his servants, "Put their goods in their saddlebag, perhaps they will recognize them when they return to their families."
إلى إليهم قالوا يا أبانا منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون.
Oh, Father, we were denied measure, but send our brother with us, and we will obtain measure. We will take care of him.
قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل فالله خير حافظا.
He said, shall I trust you with him, as I trusted you with him before? Allah is the best guardian, and he is the most merciful of the merciful.
ولما فتحوا متاعهم وجدوا بضاعتهم ردت إليهم قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا ونزداد كيل بعير ذلك كيل يسير.
And when they opened their baggage, they found that their goods were returned to them. They said, Father, what more do we want? Here are our goods, returned to us. We will provide for our family, and protect our brother, and have an additional camel load. This is easy commerce.
قال لن أرسله معكم حتى تؤتون موثقا من الله لتأتونني به إلا أن يحاط بكم فلما آتوه موثقهم قال الله على ما نقول وكيل.
He said, I will not send him with you, unless you give me a pledge before Allah that you will bring him back to me, unless you get trapped. And when they gave him that pledge, he said, Allah is witness to what we say.
وقال يا بني لا تدخلوا من باب واحد وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة وما أغني عنكم من الله من شيء إن الحكم إلا لله عليه توكلت وعليه فليتوكل المتوكلون.
And he said, O my sons, do not enter by one gate, but enter by different gates. I cannot avail you anything against Allah. The decision rests only with Allah.
ما كان يغني عنهم من الله من شيء إلا حاجة في نفس يعقوب قضاها وإنه لذو علم لما علمناه ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
And when they entered as their father had instructed them, it did not avail them anything against Allah. It was just a need in the soul of Jacob, which he carried out. He was a person of knowledge inasmuch as we had taught him, but most people do not know.
ولما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أخاه قال إني أنا أخوك فلا تبتئس بما كانوا يعملون.
And when they entered into the presence of Joseph, he embraced me.
السقاية في رحل أخيه جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه ثم أذن مؤذن أيتها العير إنكم لسارقون.
Then, when he provided them with their provisions, he placed the drinking cup in his brother's saddlebag. Then an announcer called out, "O people of the caravan, you are thieves."
قالوا وأقبلوا عليهم ماذا تفقدون.
He said,
ولمن جاء به حمل بعير وأنا به زعيم.
They said, "We are missing the king's goblets. Whoever brings it will have a camel load, and I personally guarantee it."
قالوا تالله لقد علمتم ما جئنا لنفسد في الأرض وما كنا سارقين.
By Allah, you know we did not come to cause trouble in the land, and we are not thieves.
قالوا فما جزاؤه إن كنتم كاذبين.
They said, "What shall be his punishment if you are lying?"
قالوا جزاؤه من وجد في رحله فهو جزاؤه كذلك نجزي الظالمين.
They said, "His punishment, if it is found in his bag, he will belong to you. Thus we penalize the guilty."
فبدأ بأوعيتهم قبل وعاء أخيه ثم استخرجها من وعاء أخيه كذلك كدنا ليوسف ما كان ليأخذ أخاه في دين الملك إلا أن يشاء الله نرفع درجات من نشاء وفوق كل ذي علم عليم.
So he began with their bags, before his brother's bag. Then he pulled it out of his brother's bag. Thus we devised a plan for Joseph. He could not have detained his brother under the king's law, unless Allah so willed. We elevate by degrees whomever we will, and above every person of knowledge, there is one more learned.
قالوا إن يسرق فقد سرق أخ له من قبل فأسرها يوسف في نفسه ولم يبدها لهم قال أنتم شر مكانا والله أعلم بما تصفون.
They said, "If he has stolen, a brother of his has stolen before." But Joseph kept it to himself, and did not reveal it to them. He said, "You are in a worse situation, and Allah is aware of what you allege."
قالوا يا أيها العزيز إن له أبا شيخا كبيرا فخذ أحدنا مكانه إنا نراك من المحسنين.
They said, "O noble prince, he has a father, a very old man, so take one of us in his place. We see that you are a good person."
قال معاذ الله أن نأخذ إلا من وجدنا متاعنا لظالمين.
He said, "Allah, for then we would be unjust."
فلما استيئسوا منه خلصوا نجيا قال كبيرهم ألم
My
تعلم
Facebook live might cut off by itself. So inshallah, if it does, can you please go to the Quran and continue reading the end of Surah Al-Yusuf?
فلن أبرح الأرض حتى يأذن لي أو يحكم الله لي.
Their elders said, don't you know that your father received a pledge from you before Allah, and in the past you failed with regard to Joseph? I will not leave this land until my father permits me. Allah decides for me. He is the best of deciders.
ارجعوا إلى أبيكم فقولوا يا أبانا إن ابنك سرق وما شهدنا إلا بما علمنا وما
Go back to your father, and say, our father, your son has stolen. We testify only to what we know, and we
العير التي أقبلنا فيها وإنا
the town where we were, and the caravan in which we came. We are being truthful.
قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل العليم الحكيم.
He said, rather, your souls have contrived something for you. Patience is a virtue. Perhaps Allah will bring them all back to me. He is the knowing, the wise.
تولى عنهم وقال يا أسفا على يوسف وابيضت عيناه من الحزن فهو.
He turned away from them and said, oh, my bitterness for Joseph. And his eyes turned white from sorrow, and he became depressed.
قالوا تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين.
They said, by Allah, you will not stop remembering Joseph until you have ruined your health, or you have passed away.
قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون.
He said, I only complain of my grief and sorrow to Allah, and I know from Allah what you do not know.
يا بني اذهبوا فتحسسوا من أخيه ولا تيأسوا من روح الله إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون.
O my sons, go and inquire about Joseph and his brother, and do not despair of Allah's comfort. None despairs of Allah's comfort except the disbelieving people.
يا أيها العزيز مسنا وأهلنا الضر وجئنا ببضاعة مزجاة فأوف لنا الكيل وتصدق علينا إن الله يجزي المتصدقين. واتق ويصبر فإن الله لا يضيع أجر المحسنين.
They said, is that you, Joseph? He said, I am Joseph, and this is my brother. Allah has been gracious to us. He who practices piety and patience, Allah never fails to reward the righteous.
وإن كنا لخاطئين.
They said, by Allah, Allah has preferred you over us. We were definitely in the wrong.
قال لا تثريب عليكم اليوم يغفر الله لكم وهو أرحم الراحمين.
He said, there is no blame upon you. Merciful of the merciful.
اذهبوا بقميصي هذا فألقوه على وجه أبي يأت بصيرا وأتوني بأهلكم أجمعين.
Take this shirt of mine and lay it over my father's face, and he will recover.
إني لأجد ريح يوسف لولا أن تفندون.
As the caravan set out, their father said, I sense the presence of Joseph, though you may think I am seen.
تالله إنك لفي ضلالك القديم.
They said, by Allah, you are still in your old confusion.
فلما أن جاء أعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون.
Then, when the bearer of good news arrived, he laid it over his face, and he regained his sight. He said, did I not?
يا أبانا استغفر لنا ذنوبنا إنا كنا خاطئين فأستغفر لكم ربي إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.
He said, I will ask my Lord to forgive.
إليه أبويه وقال ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمين.
Then, when they entered into the presence of Joseph, he embraced his parents, and said, enter Egypt, Allah willing, safe and secure.
ورفع أبويه على العرش وخروا له سجدا قال يا أبت هذا تأوي من بعد وجاء بكم من البدو من بعد أن نزغ الشيطان بيني وبين إخوتي إن ربي لطيف لما يشاء إنه هو العليم الحكيم.
Released me from prison and brought
أتيتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت لي في الدنيا والآخرة توفى الصالحين.
My Lord, you have given me some authority, and taught me some
وما كنت لديهم إذ أجمعوا أمرهم وهم يمكرون.
to you. You were not present with them when they plotted and agreed. All your eagerness.
في السماوات والأرض يمرون عليها وهم عنها معرضون.
How many are signing
وهم مشركون.
do not believe in Allah unless they associate
من عذاب الله أو تأتي بغتة وهم لا يشعرون.
Do they feel secure that a covering of Allah's punishment will not come upon them, or that it will not come upon them suddenly, while they are
أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما
clear knowledge, I and
قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم من أهل القرى أفلم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبل استيأس الرسل وظنوا أنهم قد كذبوا جاءهم نصرنا فنجي ولا يرد بأسنا عن القوم المجرمين
until when
الذي بين يديه وتفصيلا
in their stories is a lesson for those who possess